is an Unspoiled Network podcast.
This is Unspoiled, covering Harry Potter, the Rereading. Book 2, The Chamber of Secrets. Chapters 13 and 14. The Very Secret Diary and Cornelius Fudge. In these chapters, Hermione falls victim to Slytherin's monster. Welcome to Unspoiled. All right, welcome to the show, everybody. I'm Natasha.
And I am Rashawn.
So my apologies to everybody. We had 2 episodes in a row with some significant technical difficulties. And then we had to skip a week because of illness. And so we are coming at this with 2 chapters again, trying to get our act together. But, you know, as you do. But I hope that y'all didn't miss us too much. And if you are somebody who donated on the GoFundMe, you probably didn't miss us too much because you got a little bit of a bonus thing up in there about a week ago. So Rashawn and I recorded the first episode of the bonus stuff, the coverage of the first 3 movies. And I sent it via email to everybody who donated so far. I've had some people not get it. Whatever email you used for GoFundMe is the one that I sent it to. But if you didn't get it, please let me know, and I will send you the Dropbox link for it. So that's the deal. And I want to warn you all. I want to warn you all that if you really enjoy the movies, I know you may think you want to hear Rashawn and I talk about it, but that may not be actually what you want to listen to, because we are not big fans of the movies. But we're still funny about it. You know. Shitting on things can be hilarious.
I feel bad because I'm like, this is how we're thanking people?
Right? We are thanking you all so much for supporting us, and in return, we are giving you this that we hate, of all our commentary on how much you dislike this thing that you probably love. Enjoy.
But to be fair, it's only the first 3 movies, so we still have 4 movies to go.
Mm-hmm.
And it could all turn around, guys. I haven't seen the other movies, so you know.
I'm just like, yeah, all right, sure, it could turn around. But yeah, so it's still fun to do. It's just, it's a very particular tone that we haven't had for the books so far, except for maybe the first book when Rashawn was very much not sure that she had made the right decision.
Oh yeah, I was not 100% that I had made a right decision.
Yep.
And I was feverishly looking for a way out.
And meanwhile, I was cackling to myself, going, "Oh, you think you know?" All right, so
sorry, my chair is squeaking a lot. I don't know if you can hear that.
I can't, but I can hear you like moving. I just can't hear the chair really in particular.
Trying to make sure that my laptop is actually charging.
Yeah, you went completely away right there.
I just want to make sure that the laptop is actually charging right now.
Ah, gotcha. Okay.
Poop out on us, and it's not giving. You know how usually when your battery's charging, it gives you a little
lightning bolt or something. Yeah,
little movement, and it's not giving me anything. But I don't see why it wouldn't be charging. So let's just all play on that.
Yeah, let's hope this isn't another episode of us suddenly having to end the episode. So with that said, I just wanted to say thank you to the people who have donated so far, who have donated most recently. I may be repeating some names because I'm not exactly sure where we left off. There's a bunch of you. I'm going to say all your names anyway, because you all deserve a little bit of a high five. So I apologize if I have missed anyone or if I have repeated any, but you could just deal with it. Brittany Erdman, Elsie Kate, Emily Daniel, Allison and Steve San Juan, Katie Bishop, Avery Chakravarti, Toph Olney, Arlene Gill, Michael Joyner, Tristan Haldit, Alex Gallup, Jill Goff, Alice McEwen, Mary King, Joanna Phillips, Ketley Duver, Nyanish Patel, Caitlin Hammond Brown, Donna Doherty, Anum Hassan, Kate Williams, my apologies, Dawn Smith, Keisha Solomon, Noelle Blanchard, Sarah Bergen, Liz Schaefer, Bridget Blakemore, Kate Tangas, Chelsea Mayo, Carrie Jacobson, Carl Dickman, Julie Bouchard, Jill Barra-Kling, Megan George, Christine Y., Ashley RMC, Christine Robinson, Selje Iran Strom, Tistu Perder, Amber Raff, David Kehoe, Nancy Smith, Matthew Lippens, Mary Richter, Casey Muir-Taylor, Caitlin Lavery, Melissa Boone, Patricia B.G., and Rachel Moore. So many of you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you
That's
all
really
so
quite a
much.
list.
I know. I think once we announced that we were going to do the movies, it just picked up because all of a sudden I woke up one day and we had been getting like a pretty steady trickle, but I woke up and we had like 10 notifications in my email, and then I got many more throughout that day, and I was like, well, damn, okay.
Oh, man. Now I feel even worse about the movie.
It's fine.
Right. We're going to, next time though, we're just going to talk about how great they are. No, don't laugh. The movies are going to be much better, right? Why are you laughing?
Okay. Well, just FYI, those of you who are patrons, in the patrons group, on Saturday the 10th, Rashawn and I have agreed that we are going to watch the fourth movie together on, and it won't be on camera or anything because that can be really hard to sync up, but we will start a thread in the Facebook group commenting as we watch it. So that'll be fun. It won't be the same as a recording, but I'll get to see Rashawn, and it'll be a handy way for us to like refer back because we're doing 3 different movies. You can't sit down and marathon all those movies in one day and then go record.
No. Some of us learned that the hard way.
Yeah, Rashawn tried that. It didn't go well. So we're going to watch one on the 10th, then one on the 17th, then one on the 21st, and then we're going to record on like the 30th. So by then, you know, some things get mixed up and you mush them together. Having these threads will be really helpful as notes for us when we get to record to look back at what our thoughts were and remind us of things that we maybe forgot we had a problem with or forgot we really liked. And so, you know, it's entertainment for y'all, but it's also helpful to us. So keep an eye out for that, patrons. But I suspect book 4 is going to be the one that makes Rashawn the most angry, probably.
I don't want to be angry.
It'll be hilarious. Don't worry about it. Some of people's favorite episodes of my show are me yelling and banging on my desk for extended periods. Luke Cage and Penny Dreadful, I'm looking at you.
Oh my God, how terrible was that Luke Cage ending? That whole second, well, not the entire second half, but the last like 5 episodes.
Yeah.
Sweet Christmas.
See what she did there? Okay, so The Very Secret Diary. We start off with an amazing illustration of
the angriest little Cupid you've ever seen.
This Cupid,
yes, we do.
has I think that's a mohawk that just isn't gelled up.
Yeah, I feel like I sort of low-key maybe dated this guy once.
Oh my God.
Like, maybe not actually what he looks like, but his aesthetic and how angry he is.
Oh my God.
I'm pretty sure I dated him.
And this is a dwarf. Have we seen dwarves in other things in these books?
I don't think so, no.
I don't think so either. That's something notable, I feel like, that she brings them up in the second book, but then nothing ever occurs again involving them.
Well, I feel like with his bad attitude.
Oh my God. Yeah, it's kind of surprising because dwarves are usually the ones that are like credited with making really beautiful like metal work, but she gives that to the goblins in the story.
Yeah.
So, interesting. All right. So this opens up with Hermione in the hospital wing for the first time because she is a cat. Bummer.
Yeah. You didn't think it was going to get more unpleasant for Hermione in this book. And then...
Yeah, she goes through some shit, doesn't she? And people are trying to get a look at her because they think she's been attacked and petrified. So they have to go through extra to like keep her hidden because it's such an embarrassing thing. And Ron is like, predictably, well, you should just like rest and take a break. And she's like, no, bring me my work. And then they notice that she has a get well card from Lockhart stuck under her pillow.
Under her fucking pillow.
Did you ever do anything like this when you were young? Keep something under your pillow?
I feel like I must have, but I don't recall anything specifically. No.
I'm trying to think. Same basically. I'm like, I probably did.
Yeah. I wasn't prone to crushes as a kid.
Okay.
On teachers. I had one crush when I was in the first grade. I had a crush on a little boy in the class. And I don't remember how it ended, but I remember it ended in heartbreak for me.
Aw.
And that's really the only crush I can remember having until I was in high school. I crushed on this boy my last 2 years of high school so fucking hard. And he ended up having a crush on my best friend, and then after we graduated, they ended up hooking up.
Oh no.
Yeah, and I couldn't even be mad about it because I was hooking up with his friend at the time, but I was still kind of salty about it.
I mean,
yeah, the only reason they got together was because of me, in a weird way. Somebody had a crush on him in high school. He liked my best friend, but I didn't know it. And then a couple of years later, I met a guy who happened to be friends with my high school crush, and because of that, my high school crush ended up getting reconnected with my best friend, and they ended up hooking up.
Good God.
So it was really all my fault. There was nobody to blame but me. And that's it. Those the only two crushes I've ever had.
Oh my God, that's funny. I had a crush in my freshman year of college on somebody that was so terrible that it was a distraction to me and everyone around me. That kind of crush where you're just everybody's can you just stop, please? And I'm like, no, I'm going to stare at him so hard. And we had this weird encounter where we seemed to be really into each other, and he held my hand and we were walking around holding hands, but we never kissed, which to me is more intimate that we're walking around holding hands but didn't kiss versus I could actually have sex with somebody and be yeah, whatever. This wasn't really a thing. We just did it and that's fine. But if they held my hand, I'd be oh, whoa, hold on. So I kind of took it seriously and was elated. And then he just sort of ducked me, even though we were in class together. And so that was not possible. And I remember talking to a guy friend and he was all right, this is going to seem weird. I know that you thought there was a thing there, but did you guys hold hands? And I was yes, that is the main thing we did. And he was all right, I don't know what to say then, because that just seems pretty self-evident to me. I was thank you. But yeah, anyway, heartbreak, whatever. So Lockhart has sent her a to Miss Granger, wishing you a speedy recovery from your concerned teacher, Professor Gilderoy Lockhart, Order of Merlin, 3rd class, honorary member of the Dark Force Defense League, and 5-time winner of Witch Weekly's Most Charming Smile Award. He has to. He's been fucking, this is the kind of greeting card Daenerys would send somebody.
He has a stamp with that on it, right?
Probably. I should get a stamp made for my... I should make some really crazy sign off on all my emails. Some auto signature that's got weird weird titles that make sense to nobody.
I just assumed all your emails ended with Toodaloo motherfucker.
I wish they did. That's the kind of thing that I would forget was there and then send a resume out. It'd just be like, I'd just have pressed send and then remember and go, oh no. In Brooklyn Nine-Nine, he sends out an email that's like a condolence email to everybody to let them all know that like, oh, we're all really sorry for your loss, but he forgets to change the email signature that says from my stinky butt. So they are walking back to the common room, leaving Hermione still in the medical ward, and they hear Filch flipping out because there's water on the floor, and they realize it's coming from the bathroom where Moaning Myrtle hangs out, and they go in there and she's super upset because someone threw a book at her, which is not really what happened.
I was just going to say, I loved it. They threw a book at her when she's not even like part of this.
Nope.
I mean, she is in a bigger way, but this moment, nobody is throwing a book at you. You just happen to be there.
Right. Indeed. And if they look at it, it's actually not a book. It's a journal that appears to be empty. Mm-hmm. So it's very weird to them that she would have thrown that somebody would have thrown this away. And Harry just takes it with him. Because even though it's just a blank, soggy journal, which most people would not care about, for some reason, Harry's like interest is piqued here.
And Ron has to try to be the voice of reason. Mm-hmm. He's like, we don't pick up that strange object, Harry.
Right.
And Harry is like, bah, to you when you're concerned.
Oh, and Ron knows the name T.M. Riddle, too, which is like a weird thing. He only knows it because he had to.
Yeah, the detention with Filch.
Exactly.
Can I just say, and I think I said this already, but I have to say it again. I think I said it during the movie. I don't hate Ron as much as I remember hating Ron.
Oh, okay. That's good. I think that might be because of our Akio box that arrived.
I think
it softened us up a little bit, probably. And speaking of which, guys, I decided because it's a pretty long unboxing, I am going to make it a separate little episode on the feed. So you guys can listen to it. It's fun. Like it's its own like tiny little podcast. But I decided not to cut it into this episode because it's just will feel weird. So I'm going to make it its own thing. And I really hope that y'all enjoy listening to it because it was super fun. And if you want to see the video for it, it is on YouTube, and I posted it on the Facebook page for the show also.
Did you post it to Akio Box? I saw that they had...
I emailed it to them.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, they put up one of the last episodes of the rereading and mentioned that the video was going to be coming soon.
Did they?
Yeah, they put it up on their page.
I didn't even see that.
Oh, yeah.
How did I not see that? I'm going to check that shit out right now. I'm like, oh, if they like promise something to people, maybe I will just go ahead and like, put it in this episode after all. Maybe I'll change my whole mind. Yeah, I'm looking for it, but and they are having a Halloween box that I really kind of want. I thought the Halloween box was going to be the same price as their monthly box, but it's $10 less. So if y'all are interested, it might have less items in it because they come with 3 to 5 items depending on the size and like the value of them. But they're doing a special Halloween box, and if you order by September 4th, which it'll be too late for anybody but patrons by the time this is up, but I think they said 10% of their profits for all orders between August 29th and September 4th are going to benefit Hurricane Harvey victims, which I think is pretty awesome. So, and they sell out of their boxes every single month, and apparently they're really close to selling out for Halloween. So if you want one, I would go do that pretty quick.
I think I might get myself one too.
Yeah, I mean, they have a little like preview of something that is going to be in the next one, and it is a really cool stemless wine glass with a dark mark on it.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
which is pretty awesome. And they've taken a couple really gorgeous photos too. They have one of a dark gray cat with pumpkins in the wine glass and everything. And I was just like, oh, they just know how to market, these ladies. So yeah, anyway, use code unspoiled, 10% off. I think that still works on the Harry Potter or on the Halloween box, but I can honestly say that I'm not totally positive about that. Let me try it. Add to cart. Coupon or gift. Let's do this. Unspoiled. Apply. Failed to add. Nope. Doesn't work for the Halloween box. But I still say support them. Even if I don't get anything out of it. I'm going to be really generous and be like, well, still do nice things. So yeah, maybe I will tack that on to the end of this episode then. So back to this. Hermione leaves the hospital wing and is very interested as well in this blank journal, trying to figure out if it has any secret powers. And nothing seems to be turning up. But Harry's just kind of like bothered by the fact that somebody tried to throw it away, even though it's blank. He just can't quite shake how weird that is. Mm-hmm. And Hermione is the one that finally puts it together that this journal might hold the key to whoever was opening the chamber, because it's a 50-year-old diary. And the chamber had opened last time 50 years ago. Mm-hmm. But Ron points out, quite rightly, that's a brilliant theory. It's just that there's nothing in the diary. So, that's great. Thank you.
That was a lot of help.
Right?
In a way that wasn't really helpful.
I love when he's just like, I mean, it's not even that he's wrong. It's just that he's so, like, condescending about it. Well, that would be great, Hermione. But, and I'm like, dude, chill. You're going to feel really silly later. So, Harry is determined to find out more about Riddle and goes and sees the special awards or special services to the school award that he got. And they find his name on several other things.
All kinds of shit.
An old medal for magical merit on a list of old head boys.
What?
Wouldn't you think Hogwarts would get rid of some of this stuff?
You know what? That is such a good point.
But
we live in a universe that is, I guess, not supposed to have made the connection.
Yeah. True.
Right? Even though, when does Dumbledore put it together? When does he tell Harry he began to put it together?
What do you mean? Like,
who Tom Riddle was, or who Voldemort was, whichever way you want to say it.
When does Dumbledore tell Harry?
I know Dumbledore doesn't always know that Tom Riddle is turned into Voldemort. Right?
Yeah, he does.
He knows from, that's what I mean. When does he find out? When does he realize?
I mean...
is it before Voldemort attacked James and Lily, or is it afterwards?
Oh, it's before, because
it's way before, right?
Yeah, because Voldemort, before he's even transformed into what he becomes, he comes and tries to get an interview to be a teacher and all this stuff. So yeah, way before.
But that's still under,
he's still when he comes for that interview, Dumbledore says, "I hear." He calls him Tom, and he's like, "I don't go by that name anymore."
That's right. Okay, so he does it. Okay.
Yeah.
But no one else knows.
I'm not sure that's true.
See, that's what my question is.
I think people know. It's just, I don't know.
I guess what I'm trying to imagine is if Dumbledore gets rid of all this stuff, like maybe he should have. What does he say? Like, does the whole world know that Tom Riddle became Voldemort? Or, because if the whole world knows it and these medals are still in the school.
That's what I really think everybody knows who he was.
Oh my God.
So, like, it's just...
Well, that's just obscene.
It's like, this is like the fucking Confederate statue thing
Well,
again.
people, it's history, not hate. It's heritage, not hate. Tom Riddle's marriage badges must stay, or else how will we learn from our mistakes from the past?
Somebody's going to show up in the middle of the night and fling red paint all over it. Oh my God! There's a protest outside of the fucking
There really
case.
should have been.
Yeah. So anyway, Harry's trying to think about, what this could have been. It's still like he's getting a little obsessed over it, honestly. And when Gilderoy is talking to McGonagall, he tries to make it seem like there haven't been any attacks lately because he took care of it.
Oh my God. He winks and taps his nose, and he's just the worst.
Oh my God.
When we watched the movie last weekend, I could not place the actor who was playing Lockhart. And it turned out it's somebody really pretty fucking famous.
Who is it?
Kenneth Branagh, who I know from a million movies, and I don't know why I didn't realize that's who it was. And I really like him until Maggie told us he cheated on Emma Thompson.
Oh, yeah. How about that? I didn't know that.
The lady who plays Bellatrix. Is that Helena
Bonham Carter, yeah.
I'd never heard about that. I was so upset because they were one of my favorite old-time Hollywood couples.
Boo.
Indeed.
Yeah, I didn't know anything about that. And what other movies has he been in?
Oh, Jesus Christ. I can't. A ton of movies in the 90s. And a lot of movies with her. And I can't think of any of them off the top of my head. But yeah. Hang on. Let me see if I can see. Well, no, don't hang on, because I'm so
I see the Akio Box post. How did I not notice this?
I don't know.
They did that 5 days ago. Oh, I'm such a doof. Thanks, Akio. What's up?
They named us, but they didn't tag. I don't think they tagged.
They did tag the show. Yeah, they did.
Then there's no excuse.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but my notifications are so iffy. I'll see posts that people made directly to the show's wall a week after they posted them, and I feel really bad because I just ignored it. I didn't ignore it. I didn't see it, but I don't know why some notifications don't really get push the way that other ones do. So anyway, yeah, guys, if you sent me a message or posted on the wall and I haven't replied, my apologies. There's a good chance that maybe I didn't even see it. You might want to tag me. So let's see. Are you looking up what else he's been in?
I am. Oh, he's in that movie Dunkirk that just came out.
I want to see that. I haven't seen that yet.
He was in a bunch of Shakespeare movies, which is what I know him from.
Oh, okay.
He was in Rabbit Proof Fence. Have you ever seen that?
Nope.
Oh God, it's really good. I'm trying to think of any of these big movies. He was in Wild Wild West, but don't hold that against him.
Oh my God.
Don't hold that against him.
That's something.
Hamlet,
I was so excited for that stupid movie.
Othello, Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, Much Ado About Nothing. That Again is what I think maybe first saw him in. Henry V. A bunch of shit.
Huh. All right. Yeah, I don't know him. Sorry, dude.
Oh, Chariots of Fire. That's right. He was in that.
Okay, so moving on.
Sorry.
Lockhart decides that he's going to celebrate Valentine's Day. Even though this really isn't a Hogwarts thing. They'll do special things for many holidays. Valentine's Day is not one of them. It never happens in any of the other books. May I thank the 46 people who have so far sent me cards. Yes, I've taken the liberty of arranging this little surprise for you all, and it doesn't end here. Oh my God. Lockhart clapped his hands, and through the doors of the entrance hall marched a dozen surly-looking dwarfs. Not just any dwarfs, however. Lockhart had them all wearing golden wings and carrying harps. My friendly card-carrying cupids. They will be roving around the school today delivering your valentines. And the fun doesn't stop there. I'm sure my colleagues will want to enter into the spirit of the occasion. Why not ask Professor Snape to show you how to whip up a love potion? And while you're at it, Professor Flitwick knows more about entrancing enchantments than any wizard I've ever met, the sly old dog. Professor Flitwick buried his face in his hands. Snape was looking as though the first person to ask him for a love potion would be force-fed poison. Please, Hermione, tell me you weren't one of the 46, said Ron as they left the Great Hall. Hermione suddenly became very interested in searching her bag for her timetable and didn't answer. Oh, God.
Yeah. You know she sent him a card.
Oh, of course she did. I bet she worked on that shit all night, too. Probably, like, enchanted it to have scalloped edges and, like, a fucking bow at the top. And so, yeah, this becomes, like, kind of disruptive because there are dwarves marching in all over the place, interrupting things and giving people valentines. And finally, one catches up with Harry. And it's not just a Valentine. I've got a musical message to deliver Harry in person.
Harry is like, no. Trying to, like, fucking get away.
I love that, like, there are people blocking his way to Harry, and he just gets through them by kicking them in the shins until they clear out. And then he tackles Harry and holds him down. And his bag splits open, and there's ink everywhere. And here is the little poem. His eyes are as green as a fresh pickled toad. His hair is as dark as a blackboard. I wish he was mine. He's really divine. The hero who conquered the Dark Lord.
And of course, Malfoy is here because,
yeah,
you know, when anything really terrible and humiliating happens to Harry, he's not far away.
It's true. Harry would have given all the golden Gringotts to evaporate on the spot. Trying valiantly to laugh along with everyone else, he got up, his feet numb from the weight of the dwarf. Oh, God. And then Malfoy takes the diary, thinking that it's like Harry's diary.
Yeah, he's all opening it, ready to, like, you know, read whatever is in there.
And this is one of the first times that Harry uses Expelliarmus. And he gets his book back, which it's sort of a weird thing for him to do because it's not like he's figured anything out about it yet.
Right. He just doesn't want anybody else to have it.
Yeah.
He definitely doesn't want Malfoy to have it.
Yeah, it's a very specific thing.
Yeah. I love, too, that this is so early in the books, and we're seeing, I think, maybe for the first time, and we don't know it yet, but we see how Harry is drawn to it, and we don't understand why. And Harry clearly doesn't understand why either, but it's so strong. And he can't really explain it away, but he also is almost like forced to like give into it and give into the feeling. Right.
Yeah. So, Ginny, like, let's see, where is it? He got one over on Malfoy. Malfoy was looking furious, and as Ginny passed him to enter her classroom, he yelled spitefully after her, "I don't think Potter liked your Valentine much." Oh, I want to know how he even knows that.
Yeah. Doesn't he makes a crack earlier. When does he?
When they're in Diagon Alley, he says like, "Oh, you've got a girlfriend."
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of.
But it's just kind of a shitty like in the moment thing. This is something like how did he know? How though?
Yeah, I don't think I took it as him really knowing. I thought it was just Malfoy. I mean, clearly Malfoy has no way of knowing it's her. It's just him building on the shitty bridge he already started building.
Right, exactly. Okay, so Harry notices here that the diary, which had been soaked in ink that was from the broken bottle, is totally clean, which is super weird. And he goes back to his room and dips his quill in ink, and then like writes in it and notices that it is sinking right into the page. She writes, "My name is Harry Potter. Hello, Harry Potter. My name is Tom Riddle. How did you come by my diary?"
And a lesser boy would have just thrown that diary right the fuck away.
Do you think so? Because I feel like most kids would be entranced by this.
Let me tell you a little something about me.
Okay.
So, do you know that guy Adam Ellis that makes those wonderful little comics that I post all the time?
Yes.
I love him so much. Well, he has a Twitter thread that just sort of started going viral about how his apartment is haunted.
Mm-hmm.
And
I didn't read that. I saw that, though.
I had to stop reading it. I couldn't get to the end, you guys. I pieced out of a Twitter thread because it got too creepy.
What was it? Because I remember seeing it. What was going on?
So he has night paralysis, which is horrible in and of itself. And it first starts with him being asleep and dreaming that there's a little boy at the end of his bed with like a misshapen head.
Ooh.
And the little boy's name is Dear Daniel. And so he has this like recurring nightmare about it. And then he posts video and he posts pictures in the thread. And his cats start going crazy and like staring at this one particular door. And he bought himself like a Polaroid camera just like for fun. So he thought he saw something outside the door and he opened it and there was nothing there. But his cats go and they stare at the door at the same time every night for nights and nights in a row. And then he took a picture of the door with the door open with his Polaroid and it came out completely black every time he took a picture.
Oh.
But then when he took a picture with his cell phone, it was like a regular picture. So then he moves upstairs to the apartment above his because it becomes available and it's a nicer apartment.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't have any dreams of the ghost for a while. And then he has a terrible nightmare where the little boy in the dream drags him to like this warehouse. And in his first dream, the little boy was sitting on like a green chair that's in his room.
Mm-hmm.
So he has this nightmare that the ghost drags him to like this weird warehouse. When he wakes up the next day, he's got this bruise on his arm. Listen. Then he says he was walking to work or something, and there's this business that he's passed by every day. I forget what he said they were. And it was like this bustling business. It's been there for years. And he's walking by it, and the place is completely abandoned. And it's just like this empty warehouse. And he goes in to take a look around, and it's got a green chair sitting in the middle of the floor from his nightmare.
Okay.
And then right around there, I was like, okay, we're done.
What?
So I don't even know how it ends. I don't know if at the end he's like, psych, just playing. I don't fucking know. I was out.
I mean, I'm sure he'll never say it's like I was playing, but like that's what was going on.
But I don't know. Look, you have to read it for yourself.
I will. Now that you've told me about it, I want to because I saw that circling around, I was just kind of like,
It was so fucking creepy. It was just the way he wrote it. It was so fucking creepy.
That's the kind of thing because I've been looking for new stuff for the Unspooked Halloween episodes because that's going to be coming up soon. Those of you who don't know what that is, for October every week I did for the last 2 years a weekly scary story episode of me reading supposedly true stories from people that were posted in, on different websites and on Reddit and stuff like that about their ghostly encounters or just things that they couldn't really explain. And you go, like, there's a lot of them out there, but to find ones that are really freaky can get tricky after you've done as many episodes as I've done. So, something like this would be interesting to kind of try and delve into.
I just went and looked it up, and apparently there's been an update because now the title of the story is "The Ongoing Twitter Ghost Story Just Got a Whole Lot Weirder," and I don't think my heart can take it. Like, I really want to click on it, but I don't know. Oh, it's too much. Guys, go find it. It's Adam Ellis. All you had to do is put Adam Ellis Ghost in Google, and it popped them right up. Go read the story and tell me how crazy it is.
All right. So
all that to say, you should throw this fucking book out.
Yeah, all right. Fair. So some people would not want this diary read. What do you mean? I mean that this diary holds memories of terrible things. Things which were covered up. Things which happened at Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. And then there's this whole conversation, and then he's like, why don't I just show you?
See, this is why. for a magic, enchanted, evil book, it's never enough. Because you could have just fucking told Harry.
That's true.
Well, but no, why don't I just show you?
But yeah, he can't, like, just showing him, it wouldn't feel real enough, right? I would think.
Oh, you mean just like telling him?
Yeah, like, I feel like you would be prone to be like, well, who the fuck is this guy? How do I know he's saying anything true to me?
Well, he showed him, and that shit still turned out not to be entirely true.
I mean,
so
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying.
So he could have just lied to him in print. He didn't have to lie to him.
But he needs Harry to believe it. And I don't think Harry would have fell for it otherwise.
Well, I mean, yeah, I feel like at this point, Harry, I think he would have believed him. But because Harry is really ready to believe something, he has this unfounded belief that this book holds secrets, that I think he would have been happy with anything.
Okay.
However, to your point, throwing him right into the memory really 100% convinces Harry. Doesn't leave any room for doubt, I guess.
Yeah, I think so. This illustration is pretty cool. I've been
with him then?
What's that?
Going through the
the 2-page one where he's coming out of it.
Oh, he still has his jammies on.
This was one of the illustrations that I saw all the time, like when I was looking up these books, and I didn't know when this would come into play. Like, didn't even occur to me. So he knew immediately where he was. The circular room with the sleeping portraits was Dumbledore's office, but it wasn't Dumbledore who was sitting behind the desk. So this is where we see Armando Dippet, I believe, right? Is the name of this guy?
It's definitely Dippet.
Yeah.
I'm looking for his first name.
And this is also when we find out that he goes to a Muggle orphanage over the summers.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently this is quite embarrassing for Tom. And also this is when he admits that he's a half-blood, which is interesting.
Right.
I want to know when it started that he began to lie about that.
He, I think I might be thinking of the movie because, again, we just watched it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's in the book that clearly, we'll see when we get to the end. But in the movie, when he starts talking about, in the scene at the end when they're fighting the basilisk,
mm-hmm.
and Tom's ghost is actually there, and he talks about how he wasn't going to keep his his embarrassing father's last name.
Right.
And but this Tom Riddle right now in the book doesn't seem like he has that kind of hatred for his father's side of the family yet.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I guess he hasn't figured out what really happened there yet. So if the person was caught, if it all stopped, what do you mean? Said Dippet. Riddle, do you mean you know something about these attacks? No, sir, said Riddle quickly, but Harry was sure it was the same sort of no that he himself had given Dumbledore. So this is what really motivated him. Not doing the right thing because people were getting hurt. And we know that he was the one doing the thing in the first place, so don't get me wrong. But I'm just saying, like, it's something that Harry doesn't really, like, take into account when he still believes this version of events.
Mm-hmm.
That this guy, if he did catch the person who was releasing the monster, only did it because he was afraid that he couldn't stay at Hogwarts. It had nothing to do with potentially, like, giving a shit about anybody. It was
Right.
it was solely about, well, I don't want to go there though.
Yeah.
Which is pretty fucked up, honestly. And
I wonder. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, it's just sort of weird that Harry doesn't really seem to be bothered by that.
Yeah. I wonder if it's because it's a feeling that Harry knows so well. That he
I guess so.
Instinctively understands the desire to not go back home to your awful life. And why would you want to stay at Hogwarts? So Harry doesn't think that is necessarily selfish. Or not selfish, but just Harry doesn't I would see that and be like, well, this guy's got some serious ulterior motives.
Mm-hmm.
But you're right, Harry doesn't pick up on that really in that kind of way, and I wonder if it's just because he understands it so completely that it doesn't raise any kind of red flag for him.
Yeah, that's probably exactly what it is. You're right. What?
Nothing.
What?
Not used to hearing you say that.
Listen, trying to give credit where it's due. That's all. All right, so this is when we see Harry or Hagrid trying to get something into a box. Tom is like, "Hey, it's all over. I know you didn't mean to kill anyone, but monsters don't make good pets." And he finally, there's a bright light as the door flew open, and out of it came something that made Harry let out a long, piercing scream no one but he seemed to hear. And this is the giant spider. And the scene whirls just as Tom jumps on Hagrid. Or Hagrid jumps on Tom. And Harry gets flung back into his own world. And Ron is right there. Oh, wondered where you were. Seems to not really be that surprised that Harry just fell out of a book.
Yeah, so let's talk about that a little bit. So, Ron is like, oh, there you are.
Mm-hmm.
But where is he? He's back in his bed, right?
Right.
So, you're right. Ron was looking at the bed going, where's Harry? And then he does what? Turns his head over for a second? And then looks back and Harry's there?
Yeah, it's just such a weird, I don't know what it is supposed to look like. The dormitory door opened and Ron came in. Okay, so Ron was outside and had been looking for him, but I thought it was bedtime.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm really not sure exactly what happened here. Forgive me, everyone.
So yes, okay. If that's what happened, Ron goes to the bed. There's no Harry. He goes out of the dorm looking for Harry. Comes back. Harry's back in his bed.
Right.
Okay. All right.
I really want to know, though, if he had been there, what would it look like?
Oh, my God. Can you imagine?
Just how, what is that like?
It's funny, too, is that sometimes I don't take the book as literally as I need to, maybe. Because in my imagination, Harry is not physically in this world.
Okay.
Right? Even though she says clearly he falls back into his bed. In my mind, Harry simply was just transported, his consciousness or whatever.
So he's what you were imagining was he's just sitting there looking at this book to anybody else's eyes.
Yes, anybody else's, either he's looking at the book or he's just laying with his eyes closed with the book on his chest or something.
Okay.
And I forget that, no, that's not exactly what happened. What happened is he, was physically flung into the past to witness this scene. Which is probably much more interesting and fun than the way I pictured it.
All right, so next chapter, Cornelius Fudge.
It's so green.
Yeah, his lime green bowler hat. They are discussing how terrible it is that it looks like it's Hagrid. They don't really believe it, but at the same time, how many monsters do you think are hanging out in this? I think that's the way that Ron says it. Where is it? How many monsters do you think this place can hold? Ron asked dully. And I'm like, well...
Not wrong. Ron's asking a real question.
I mean, we know it's a lot later on. Like, the amount of shit happening in this school that people that they aren't aware of really is startling.
Yeah.
But at this point, yeah, we do not know that.
And it's one of those things where Hagrid's proclivities,
Right.
lend themselves to him being a prime suspect for this.
Right.
Hagrid has never met a monster that he didn't think was sweet on the inside and just terribly misunderstood.
Mm-hmm. True enough. Oh my God. I just was about to make a really bad political joke, but I'm not going to do it. I am moving right on. Hagrid's a liberal. Okay. So Hagrid is like when they go visit him later, he's already waiting for some shit. So he is aware that this is brewing by the time they get there. Which I feel really bad about, like thinking about how anxious it must make him. But he doesn't... Oh,
you mean this whole time with like the chamber coming back and students being...
Yeah,
like, that's
like...
a good point. That's a really good point.
I just can't imagine if there was something that I had been accused of and I hadn't done it.
Right.
And then I'm still there.
And it fucking starts happening again.
Yeah, like I'd be flipping out.
Fair. Yeah, they don't really talk much about that.
Yeah.
It's really not a lot of time given to what Hagrid must be feeling like as these things start to happen again. But you're right.
And before we get there, they go to Professor Sprout's class, and the mandrakes are starting to grow up. They're almost mature and ready to be brutally murdered.
I can't with mandrakes, guys. I cannot. Every time they talk about them, and they're growing up, as soon as they start trying to get into each other's pots, and they get their acne clears up, and I mean, it's so human.
Yeah.
And we're going to murder them to save our friends
as
soon as they get done growing up. It's so terrible.
It's manslaughter. I'm going to slaughter a mandrake. Okay, so over Easter, they have to choose their subjects for the third year, which I think, because we haven't heard about this before, is similar to how it is in a lot of schools. As you're getting older, you have all of these required subjects, and then once you get to a certain grade, then you start to be able to branch out into very specific subjects that you are interested in. And I am a big fan because I hate math. So I didn't take math for like the last 2 years of high school. And it was the best thing that ever happened to me.
Yeah, same. My school was weird, my high school, in the sense that right when I started going there, maybe after my freshman year, my school, high school didn't have like really requirements that you had to take. Mm-hmm. It didn't really start until after I was already there. And so I didn't have like, oh, you have to take so many hours of math and you have to take so many, minimum credits of English or whatever.
Right.
Until I was already there for a year. And then they were like, oh, our charter changed and now you have to do these things. So I took like just the 2 years of math. And that was it for me. And the rest of the stuff I took was all stuff that I just picked because I wanted to take, which is, I probably should have took more math.
I probably should have too, but it wound up working out because I just quit college and was just like, nope. Yeah.
And now I work for a bank.
Right? Like how? Sure. All right. Sure. So in the end, Harry just decides to take all the same classes as Ron, which, sure. Mm-hmm. I think a lot of people did that. And Harry goes to Quidditch and he comes back to his room and the place has been trashed and the diary is missing. And this is when Hermione is like, wait, it had to be a Gryffindor then that did this. And Harry's like, yeah, exactly. So this is when shit starts to get real.
Yeah. I did not like, I didn't like it the first time. I didn't like it this time either. That feeling when we realized that it had to be someone in Gryffindor who's done this.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
you get so kind of used to like a house allegiance, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And just start and thinking that you can trust everybody just because they're in your house. And for the most part of the books, I think practically through all the books, that's really true.
Right.
You know, this is the only time that I can think of where it was really like, oh, who can you trust? You know? And I was glad that it was dealt with rather quickly and it's not something that carried out throughout all the books.
Agreed. Yeah. All right. So Harry is, let's see. Oh, he's leaving breakfast when he's with Ron and Hermione, and he hears the voice again, and he is looking around for it again, trying to figure out where it's coming from. And Hermione seems to suddenly have like a brainwave and is like, oh my God, I think I know what it is. And she doesn't tell them because that would be too easy.
Right?
She just runs away.
Why? I'll tell you why, because you need 4 more chapters. That's why.
Like, I just... And I agree with you that it's that you need 4 more chapters, but also I feel like it's that people can be that way if they're kind of a know-it-all and a drama queen. And, you know...
Just a little bit of both.
Just a little bit. No judgment. Same. But, yeah. I'm trying to think, like, if I figured it out, would I tell or would I run away and do this? I hope I would tell because that just drives me nuts.
Yeah. The only thing I can think is that Hermione also likes to be right. Like, she doesn't like to be half right.
Yes, that is a good point. Yeah.
So, you know, maybe she, you know, wants some evidence. But still, she could have said, this is what I think it might be, guys.
Right, yeah.
You know, I'm not 100% sure, but I think I read somewhere once about a thing.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But no, we don't get any of that.
Makes me think of Dresden Files, because Harry Dresden does this all the time, where he'll be like, snap my fingers, that's it! And everybody around him's like, what's it? And he's like, come with me! And they're like, no, seriously, what? And he's like, no time to lose! And they're like, holy shit, just tell me.
It's like the thing in the third movie with the time turner.
Right? Oh, it drove me so crazy. Okay.
There's no time. Well, I literally can control time with this thing in my hand.
All right, so Harry runs up to Gryffindor Tower to get his broom and go to the team play, practice, game, whatever. And Harry is just mounting his broom when Professor McGonagall comes out with a megaphone and she says the match has been canceled. And, you know, Wood, we've got to play the cup. Gryffindor. Professor McGonagall ignored him and continued to shout through her megaphone. All students are to make their way back to the common house rooms where their heads of houses will give them further information as quickly as you can, please. And she comes over, grabs Harry. Ron starts to come automatically, and then she looks at him and she's like, yeah, you should. And they go up to the infirmary and Hermione is there, frozen. Yeah. Carrying a little mirror. Weirdly.
Yeah. I feel like when McGonagall comes to cancel the match, that was like the signal. Because if anybody would want a fucking Quidditch match to go on, the Gryffindor play, it would be her. Yeah. So as soon as she comes out and says it's canceled, you know something terrible has happened.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so... And also Penelope Clearwater. Is frozen. Although at the time they don't know her name. Harry recognized her as the Ravenclaw. They'd accidentally asked for directions to the Slytherin common room. And Penelope is the one that has been snogging Percy.
Yep.
Which girl, seriously. Just don't.
Well, we don't know anything really about her, though. Maybe he is right up her alley. Well, apparently he is right up her alley.
Right up or something.
Oh, you stop it. You stop it right now.
Okay, so yesterday Owen was trying to explain to me the finer points of he's playing Fallout 4, and they have little territories that they can build and expand on, and he's trying to explain to me that the game has been freezing up on him because he's done so much building that it can't handle all of the information, right? But the wording that he chose was, well, the thing is that my area can grow so big because, and I just like sort of bouncing up and down on the balls of my feet going, oh, it can? How? Tell me how. Tell me why. Why does it grow so big? Tell me. And he just looked so irritated. Like he literally looked like he just did not want to see me for the rest of the day. He was done. Like, but come on. How are you going to say that in front of me? It's your fault. All right. So she says, I need hardly add that I have rarely been so distressed. It is likely that the school will be closed unless the culprit behind these attacks is caught. I would argue anyone who thinks they might know anything about them to come forward. So everybody is talking about this. And George mentions how upset Percy is, and they don't know about him and Penelope. So they're assuming that he's upset because she's also a prefect. And that he probably just never thought that whatever's attacking people would go after a prefect. Which is just so adorable in a weird way that that's what they thought was going on there. And it's a reasonable assumption to make based on what we know about him. You know, like he really does seem to think that there's like a supernatural force would definitely take hierarchy of students into account for sure.
Like it would see them and get ready to attack, but then notice their badge and be like, oh, I'm sorry, terribly sorry.
Or what if he thinks like the badges are imbued with some sort of like repelling power? Like they have a charm on them that just, it just protects them. That's how they work.
I also love that they don't think that she could be a girlfriend because, like, why would anybody want to be Percy's girlfriend?
And that is a good question. And one that I have asked more than once.
It's not even in their imagination.
Nope. So they go down to Hagrid's finally because things have gotten so out of hand that they feel like they have to confront him. They really did not want to do this, but now they feel like they have to. So they go down there. Hagrid's clearly on edge, like waiting for somebody to show up, and meets them at the door with a fucking crossbow. And when he sees them, he's like, oh, yeah, come in and have some tea. And then like proceeds to fuck up his whole kitchen, basically. And he keeps like looking around at the windows and stuff, like just not paying attention.
Yeah, when he enters the door, they're like, what the fuck, dude? And he's like, oh, I was expecting, but then it does the Hagrid trail off, like he doesn't actually finish the sentence. And they don't press him either. They're like, who were you expecting?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of like the fact that they don't press him on the one hand, because I just like, as much as Hagrid doesn't really deserve their trust, I kind of like that they always default to just being like, well, I'm sure Hagrid's doing what's best, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just because it's sweet, even though it's not really logical.
Well, it's funny because for a book that has 3 kids who are always doing pretty much the opposite of what they're told to do, they also have a tremendous amount of respect in the face of authority.
Right. That's true.
So yeah, you're right. They really wouldn't pressure Hagrid. They would just be like, okay, well, he's a grown up. Sort of.
Kind of. So Albus shows up with a stranger who is a short, portly man with rumpled gray hair and an anxious expression. He was wearing a strange mixture of clothes, a pinstriped suit, a scarlet tie, a long black cloak, and pointed purple boots. Under his arm, he carried a lime green bowler. What an outfit.
That is quite the picture.
And I don't feel like he wears this in the movies, and it's so disappointing.
I can't remember.
I'm pretty positive.
No, I think I feel like it's all very muted colors. And
yeah.
Felt like he was wearing like lots of dark gray and black. I don't remember. I definitely don't remember a purple boots or a scarlet tie or any of that.
Yeah, I feel like they make the minister seem a lot more competent in the movies than he does.
Does he have the lime green hat in the movie?
No, that's what I mean. I don't think any of this. I think he's just in like black.
They could have at least kept the hat.
Agreed. So Dumbledore is defending Hagrid here and just being like, taking him away is not going to do jack shit. And Fudge is like, I have to do something. Maybe it won't help, but I need to be seen taking any kind of action.
Yeah, which is really the worst reason that you could give for arresting somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the public wants to see me doing something, and since I don't know what else to do.
And he gets sent to Azkaban.
Which is pretty harsh, right?
Bananas.
Yeah.
Like, what?
There's not even like a trial or anything.
No.
They could have held him at the ministry. But don't they have like holding cells? Isn't that like a phase before you get sent to like the Fed?
One would think.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Evidently
they don't have like
not.
a Rikers in the Wizarding World.
And then they're in the middle of like this argument, and who should show up but Lucius fucking Malfoy? Because he always has to be involved in everything because he is such a nosy motherfucker.
Yeah, he's like fucking Draco on steroids when it comes to showing up at a person's worst moment.
Yeah. And he's just already here, Fudge? Good. And then it turns out the governors feel it's time for you to step aside. Dreadful thing, Dumbledore. This is an order of suspension. You'll find all 12 signatures on it. I'm afraid we feel you're losing your touch. How many attacks have there been now? 2 more this afternoon, wasn't it? At this rate, there'll be no Muggleborns left at Hogwarts, and we all know what an awful loss that would be to the school.
Yeah. I remember when I first read this thinking that he was just there to like help dispatch Hagrid. You know, not realizing that he was there on a whole other, fucking a whole other level of business.
Yeah.
And being really surprised, like, Jesus Christ. Hagrid, Dumbledore's out too? Hagrid and Dumbledore are both out at the same time?
Yeah, it's suspiciously perfect. Yeah. If Dumbledore can't stop them, I mean to say, who can? That remains to be seen, said Mr. Malfoy with a nasty smile. But as all 12 of us have voted... And then Hagrid jumps up and asks, how many did you have to threaten and blackmail before they agreed, Malfoy, huh? And, dear, that temper of yours will lead you into trouble one of these days, Hagrid. I would advise you not to shout at the Azkaban guards like that. They won't like it at all. Which we don't know until the next book what he even means when he says that. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And then... take him away and the Muggleborns won't stand a chance. There'll be killings next. And later on, he imitates him. We shall all miss your highly individual way of running things, Albus. And my only hope is that your successor will manage to prevent any killings.
He's so terrible.
Oh, he's such a dick.
Oh, God.
So yeah, then, all right, I'm coming. But as he was about to follow Fudge through the door, he stopped again and said, and someone will need to feed Fang while I'm away. Oh, and says, if anyone wanted to find out some stuff.
Stuff, I love that. They want to find out some stuff.
All they'd have to do would be to follow the spiders. That'd lead him right. That's all I'm saying. Fudge stared at him in amazement.
What the fuck are you talking about? And plus, I loved it. Like, Hagrid is huge, and Fudge is tiny, and now Hagrid is seemingly crazy, and he's supposed to walk him out.
True enough. I just love whenever, like, Hagrid just does some weird shit that nobody seems to understand, which is pretty frequent. Because he always is, like, weirdly intertwined with things, even though he really shouldn't be involved in any of this stuff.
Right.
And part of that is just people taking advantage of somebody that they know is going to be too dumb to see what's actually happening.
Yeah.
But, then there's things like this where he was at the school at the same time as fucking Voldemort.
Yeah.
I would think this would come up more.
You would think, but that's why I was asking earlier about who all knows the connection with Tom Riddle and Voldemort. Mm-hmm. Because I feel like, all right, I understand that in the world, especially in the world of Book 2, people aren't even saying Voldemort's name yet.
Right.
But, I mean, like, if you went to school with him but you can say Tom Riddle, though. There's no,
True.
like, if you went to high school with Hitler, wouldn't you be like, I had fucking chemistry with that motherfucker.
Oh, my God. Can you imagine?
This thing that Hagrid went to high school with him, and it's never discussed. That he's the one that framed him for opening the chamber 50 years ago, right?
Yeah, that's like a big deal. Hi.
Yeah, like Hagrid knows that it was Tom Riddle who, it's not like that's a secret. He knows that Tom is the one who told everybody he did it. He got kicked out of school for it. Tom got an award for it. Mm-hmm. Then Tom turns out to be the worst person ever. If I was Hagrid, I'd be like, see, I told you all, motherfuckers. It wasn't me.
This is the kind of thing that drives me bananas, like retroactively, too, that you'd think once everybody realized Voldemort was the one who told on Hagrid and got him kicked out of school, that maybe there would be a revision.
A little asterisk next to his high school record. Why is there still a ban on him using magic?
Exactly. I just find that to be so unjust. It just really pisses me off. And Hagrid is super innocent and foolish and everything, sure. But I can't help but wonder if he had been allowed to resume his education, maybe he would be a little bit more useful to our gang and not get them into so much bullshit trouble, Right. Hagrid got dealt a bad hand.
I want the ban against magic to be lifted from Hagrid, but I also really don't want Hagrid using magic. Like, I want both things to be true.
Okay, that's fair. I see your point on those things. I feel like he needs to be under supervision.
Oh, God,
right?
Yeah. He needs, those breathalyzers you can get when you have to go in your car if you get too many DUIs.
Oh, my God.
He needs, something like that on his wand before he can use it.
That's super good. What would that even look like, though?
I don't know, but it would say, what are you planning to do, Maggie?
Oh my God, I'm just imagining like it's a countdown. Like they're like, give yourself 10 seconds and deep breaths, Hagrid. Hold on.
It's like a little thing like Bob from Dresden that pops up and it's like, all right, Hagrid, what do you got planned? Let me tell you if that's a good idea or not.
Oh, I would love that. I love that. So yeah, that's the end of that chapter, is him getting dragged off by our fascist school system, apparently.
Is the DA like Hogwarts version of Antifa?
Oh my God. Oh, it's true. Harry, don't you know that what you're doing is just as bad as what Voldemort's been doing? I never saw that argument somehow when we were reading these books. It's super weird. Huh. Weird. Super weird. So weird. Isn't that weird? I feel like it's weird. Oh, God. So we have 4 chapters exactly left in this book. So I figured 2 next week and then 2 the week after. And then we will be done with Chamber of Secrets. And then we're going to have to go back to our regular
Oh my
regular
God,
paper
they don't
book.
have any more of these books, do they?
The next alert to everybody, if you go to unspoiledpodcast.com/Amazon, you can pre-order the Prisoner of Azkaban Illustrated Edition, which shall be released on October 3rd, I believe. So if you pre-order it, it will be like at your house on the 3rd, is how that works. They are serious about pre-orders. I went to Amazon to double check the date, and in the search bar on Amazon, I started to type Amazon. Listen, it's been a long week.
It really has.
It has.
Oh my God, it really has.
Yeah, October 3rd. So by the time we finish this one, we'll only have to do the regular version of the Azkaban book for a couple weeks if someone sees fit to order us the illustrated edition. You know, if anyone out there maybe wants to do that.
You are the queen of subtlety.
Moving on. This is what we call a dry bag. Okay. So before we go, well, first I'm going to say hi to new patrons, and then I'm going to cut the unboxing in, which I know maybe you guys are not particularly interested in like an advertisement, and I would understand if you were like, oh, I'm just going to skip that, but it really is fun. Like, we had a good time, and I think it was just, entertaining in its own way. So I don't feel like it feels like an advertisement, even though it clearly is. Like, sure. All right, if you want to be a dick about it. But, so new patrons, we have Katie Reichen, Leah Thompson, Jason Lewis, Caitlin Lavery, Amber Comacho, Barbara Anderson, Mr. Anderson, Carrie DeWalt, Cassandra Hall, Jeff Bankert, Lisa Aisato, Adam Elliott, Moonwitch. Ooh. I think Moonwitch has been a patron before though, and Emily Kramer. All became patrons in the past 2 weeks. So welcome to all of you guys. Thank you so much. Those of you who were $10 and above as patrons before, I think like August 28th. Like, I left it pretty late in the month to get as many people as I could the chance. You will be receiving your $10 and up patron reward in the mail shortly. I mailed all of you your postcards. I think I mailed them out on the 29th. So I think there was one or two people who joined up right after that. And I'm sorry, guys, but I swear you'll be getting your postcards next month. I try to leave it as late as I can. And if you are $5 and above, you are going to be able to listen to me and Maggie talk about Twin Peaks live as it's coming out. So we just, it's been a couple weeks that we've had to take off because she has been on a trip and then had her kids home for the summer. So it's been hard. But we're going to be resuming this next week with the movie Firewalk with Me. And then after that, we will be starting season 3 of Twin Peaks, which has been airing currently and is I'm hearing like really weird mixed things about, so I'm like really curious to see how that is. But yeah, so that's what's going on for patrons. So I think that's everything. Is there anything that you'd like to add, madam?
No, ma'am.
All right.
Oh, I should start plugging the book soon. I'll have all that information for next time.
For what book? Oh,
the book that my husband and his writing partner are publishing is coming out in October. So we're starting to get like things together, like book signings and events and shit like that.
Nice. Are you doing push-ups? What's happening over there?
I was stretching. Sorry.
All right. So without further ado, I will move into the the unboxing, which we did on camera. So forgive the moments where I'm like, look at how cute this is. And you're like, I can't, Natasha. This is audio. Yeah, it was on camera though. Forgive me. But we do describe things. And also, I feel like there was another thing that I wanted to mention about it, but I can't remember what it was now. But anyway, so enjoy that. And once that's over, we will see you next week with 2 more chapters. Thanks, everybody. Toodaloo, motherfuckers.
Bye, guys.
Rashana's going to join me. And you know what we're going to do? Can you guess? There she is.
Hello, everybody.
We're going to do this, guys. We're going to do this. Thank you for waiting around for me, Rashawn, while I fix the inevitable issues that arise.
It's fine. I knew there would be issues because
I've used this so many times and it's been fine.
Because I was joining you today, so
I think you are kind of a curse. I'm not going to lie to you.
It is me. It is me. Ted Kaczynski's my spirit animal.
Oh my God.
That's a joke most of you won't get.
This got really dark. What just happened? God damn. Okay, so do you have your box ready?
There's a couple of people who are in or Portland who are going to get a full eclipse.
Lucky bastards.
Sarah's
Ours
right.
is almost full. Ours is like 92% or something. Yeah.
I saw Maggie was driving to Tennessee.
What a weirdo.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah.
Look at my cute scissors that I have that I'm going to use. Do you see? They have little flowers.
Of course you have scissors with flowers on them. Of course you do.
I got them at Target in the dollar section.
All right, so we doing this?
I'm doing it. I'm going to friggin' slice this sucker open. It sounds really... That's fine.
Yes, yeah, I did all that. I did all that before.
You did?
I haven't looked at it, but it looks like a band of rabid raccoons got to it. The way I clawed into it.
But I'm going to get started because I've been waiting long enough. Am I right? Am I right? Can I get an amen? Okay.
All right.
I should have downloaded a soundbite.
All right. I almost don't want to open my box.
Oh my God.
Okay, your face said I want to open it. Fuck that. All right.
Okay. This is Owen's going to love this thing.
Oh, I have really pretty blue wrapping paper.
Yes.
Because I'm Ravenclaw.
First.
Really pretty. Paper. Isn't that nice?
Ladies.
Oh.
It's a beer cozy.
That's adorable.
I love this thing. I'm already in love with this box. Owen loves beer cozies. Oh my God. It's got a little Ron. I love it so much.
I got a t-shirt. Let's see. What's it? I got a Don't Let the Muggles Beat You Down.
Lied to me. T-shirt. Did you see Krista? Krista posted a picture of the t-shirt. And I was like, girl, don't spoil me. I don't know what's in the box. And she was like, it's just a random t-shirt.
Oh,
that
she's a big liar.
That liar.
Is it the same one? Yeah.
Yep.
Nice.
Aw, that's so cute. This is the kind of thing that I'm going to be chopping the sleeves off. I'm maybe like chopping the bottom up and like tying it to the side. I can't leave t-shirts alone.
My cozy. That's really cute.
Oh, this is so cute. I got to start collecting pins. Look at this pin. It's Harry and Ron in the Flying Fort Anglia. Can you see?
That's really cute.
I love this.
I've got some kind of vinyl.
And Hedwig is in the back.
Aw.
Oh, it's so perfect. I love this pin.
I've got a Ravenclaw Quidditch decal, which is weird because of the glare. I don't know if you can really see it. It's hard to see with the glare. Let me take it out.
Oh, yeah.
You have one?
Yeah. Oh, this is fun. I wonder what I should put this on. How do I
put mine on my
vinyl
laptop?
decal?
Maybe if it worked.
I'm like, there. If I do it like this, y'all can see, I think. Right? Ravenclaw Quidditch.
Oh, there's my pen.
Sarah's saying, don't you pick a house? Yeah, we are both Ravenclaw. So, yeah. Oh, this is so cute. Yeah, maybe I will put it on my laptop. That's a good call.
There's a Daily Prophet.
Oh, my God. Oh, guys, I have to read this to you.
For August 2017. My God, this is the best.
This month, it's all about Ron. Ronald. Wan. Runil Waslib. He's a man of many names, but there's only one Ron Weasley. There's some who view Ron as a mere sidekick, but we see him a bit differently. Never has there been a more steadfast friend willing to give a perfect stranger half a sandwich on the school train when it was the only food he had. Although he had the privilege of being a pureblood wizard, he spent his life trying to abolish the idea of blood status, and at the age of 13, he was ready to die for his best friend when confronted by a man he thought was a cold-blooded killer. So no, he's not just a sidekick, and as far as we're concerned, Weasley is our king. And then they go into detail about each of the little things. Oh, there's another thing. Oh, it's in an envelope. I didn't see this. I thought that this was just like packing at the bottom. Ardently crafted paper dolls.
Wait, mine doesn't have anything. Wait, what? What's happening?
It's a little cardboard envelope at the bottom.
Oh, yeah, mine doesn't have a sticker on it, though.
Oh, that's weird. Let's see.
What?
What
in the world? How funny is it that our first box is Ron focused?
I know, right?
How
when
much shit we
just like,
about.
Fuck Ron. But you know what? This is pretty cool.
Can you pose him? I think you can pose him.
Yeah, like he stays.
Oh, his little...
What's up, guys? He's doing a jig. Boop.
That is adorable.
Oh my God. I saw this...
He's got a little scabbers.
Oh, you guys see this? Look at this. It comes out. I dropped him.
Oh.
But there's a little pocket for him to go into.
Oh my God, this is the best. This is really cute.
The little owl has a tail that moves.
Does he? Oh,
yeah.
Jesus, he does. Look at that.
How much detail.
Ow down. Yeah, this is really fucking
wow.
Cute.
I wonder if this is what they were saying, that there was a printing issue with one of the things, and that's why our boxes came late. They send the boxes to the paying customers first, and if there's an issue, then everybody who's getting promo boxes has to wait. So I don't know if it was this. It might have been the T-shirt, but they said there was a printing issue on something, and so we had to wait a little bit longer. This is cool. Like, a paper doll is not something that I would normally be like, rad. But it's kind of like amazing how well made this is and drawn and everything. This is something that's going to go into like a scrapbook for sure. That's cool. Huh. So yeah, they have this little info thing about all of the stuff. So let's see. The pin is from Luxembourg artist Lisa Junius. I want to find that pin again. Here it is. It's so cute, guys. Like, I really wish that there wasn't the glare that there is, so y'all could see it a little bit better. That's decent. Lisa's design features the iconic turquoise car, complete with a tiny Harry and Ron in the front seat and Hedwig in her cage in the back. All that's missing is a fat pack of toffees and an invisibility booster. Check out her Etsy page, and then they give you her little Etsy. I for sure will be checking out her Etsy page because I may have found a really cute backpack with a clear window that's like made for displaying pins, and I might be going to buy some pins. Like, whatever, just maybe, possibly. But that's great. Ron trivia. 1. What is Ron's middle name? What is Ron's middle name?
Anybody know? I don't know. I don't remember. I feel like when he got that howler,
Bilious?
Molly probably said his name.
Is his name? Is it really Bilious? That's terrible. Oh my God. Ashley Peterson. Ronald Bilious Weasley. I'm sorry, Ron. I take back all the mean things I said about you. What creature lives in the attic above Ron's bedroom? A ghoul. We know that one. What profession does Ron go into after he graduates from Hogwarts. Does he become an Auror? I'm not actually sure. I don't remember.
I think you're right, though. Was it in the epilogue?
Yeah, I think so.
I think you're right.
What
does Harry become?
Auror also?
Yeah.
I don't know. When in doubt. What is the name of Ron's great aunt? Oh, damn. What's the name of the woman that Fleur borrows the tiara from? Muriel. That's the one.
Go, Catherine.
I kept thinking Millicent, and then I was like, no, that's just because we read about Millicent Bulstrode yesterday. What illness does...
I love that name.
What, Millicent?
I do. I love that name.
It's like kind of sinister sounding. I like it, though. What illness does Ron pretend to have? Dragonpox. Oh, it's Pigwidgeon. That's the owl that he's got, is Pigwidgeon. Nice. Ron, Pig, and Scabbers. We are absolute suckers for Kathleen Strotter's beautiful movable prints. We love them so much, we've included them in 3 boxes so far, and Ron completes the Golden Trio collection. Oh, so they've already sent Harry and Hermione paper dolls. I wonder what those look like. That'd be fun.
Well, she's got an Etsy shop.
Yeah.
You could probably check that out and see what they look like.
And then
this is so cute.
I love this beer cozy thing. I really do. And then let's see. House Quidditch team. Oh, somebody has it on their car as a vinyl decal on their. Yeah. I want to see if Owen will let me do that. Because I don't want to put it right on my laptop, but the cases break, like the laptop protectors, and I don't want it to go that way either. That's fun. Spattergroit, not Dragonpox. It was Spattergroit. I'm such a poser. Yay!
This is really cute stuff, though.
It is, right?
I'm tempted to subscribe now because I kind of want to see what other stuff they got.
That's the main thing for me is like, I'm always just like, what's next? What's next? And especially because certain things are part of like a set, you know, like I would love to have our 3 peeps in, well, paper doll form.
Send them on wacky adventures and take pictures of them and put them on Instagram.
I think it was, I'm not sure who it was. It was Erica. Somebody had been like making garlands with the postcards and paper clothespins, and this would be good for Ron and all the little guys if I got more than one on clothespins to hang. Be a little spooky, probably. That's fun. Owen's gonna love this stupid thing. I know he is.
What's the discount code for
unspoiled? Just the word unspoiled, and then it's 10% off 3 boxes. So
it's off 3 boxes?
Yeah, 3 in a row.
Maybe I will treat myself.
Treat yourself.
That was an Unspoiled Network podcast.